Welcome back, Arthur here with a small tutorial of how to make your own creatures or add your own creatures to the game. Uh, Here I'm going to show you how to add a new type of cow to the game, as in not changing any not changing just the textures for an existing cow, but also it won't be a plain cow, just like in Wurm. So you could not interbreed it with normal cows, and you could not get the color of fur into the cow, because fur colors are traits and they are hard coded as far as I have looked. So this will be a different cow, but it will based on the Wurm vanilla cow, right? So I went ahead and made a new Java project in Intelli-J. There is a free community edition. Download link is down in the description there, as well as all the tools that we are going to use today. All right, so let's start with the basics. I know a lot of videos out there already talked about this, but just taking you for a very quick whip here uh, inside Intelli-J to show you how to set it up. All right, so I already went ahead, made a new Java project. I just call this tutorial adding new creatures, okay. And then I make a new class and I call it the same. I should have went by another name, but... And this will be our main class, right? So that's that. Leave it at that. Go, click on the project name, hit F4, brings up the project settings. And then I'll click in here and I say SDK is already Java 1.8. If you don't have a SDK, don't worry. You can also, if it asks you when you make a new Java project, add an SDK and then you just hit download jd-gui and then you pick the version number that is correct for Wurm, which is 1.8. And you can go with Amazon or whatever. I typically go with Amazon. I do have a standard Oracle jd-gui downloaded as well, but I could also use Corrado 1.8. That doesn't matter. So we set the SDK to a 1.8 Java version and hit the lava at the language level 8. And then we hit apply for that. Then we will need some external libraries. So what is a Wurm mod referring to? It's referring to the server jar, the mod launcher, Java Assist, and Common. Click OK, click OK, click OK, and then we apply. And that's our external libraries. And then we will need an artifact, basically the jar file. And I'll just say, okay, I'll need an empty jar. And this will go to, that's a good question. I can't test it locally here because server packs are currently not working on this PC. But I can put it in the downloads folder or something like that. Let's see. Downloads. Okay. And then I'll just upload it to the server later to show you if it works. And then we just drag the compile output into the unnamed jar. And of course, we also rename that to tutorial adding new creatures. Don't hit apply. Tick off include in project build or you will be a sad person for a long time. All right, I'll hit apply on that and then hit OK. And that is the external construct all set up. And now we just need to set up our public class. And we say implements server, Wurm server mod, and also on server. Was it server started? Yeah, server started listener, because that's where we put in our creature, and it also needs initable. Right? That's what I think we will require. In one of my videos, I show you what all the implements do, so you can always add all of them, but it's just tidier if we use the ones that we will need. So already Intelli-J says here something's wrong, and we can just say, aha, implement the method. So which one do we need? We will need on server started, and we will need init. All right. Okay, so in init already we can put mod creatures init. This needs to be in here. Otherwise, if you forget this line, you will get an error message in your console that you need to init it first. So that's nice about the mod loader. And that's that. And now we just make a new Java class, and I'll just call it my cow. Right, and this will be our creature that we are making here. And this implements mod creature, right? Because it's a modded creature. And creature types. So it's just a hot link to a Wurm class, so we can get the creature types of Wurm. Right, again, we must implement methods, so we click that, and now, again, we are a little bit flooded with options, but for the basic thing, you only need two things, and that's creature create template builder and add encounters. All the other things we won't use today, but maybe there will be another tutorial. But you can also check out other mods. So you can say here it has traits, assign traits, but we don't need that on our creature for the time being. Okay, so we've got our two methods implemented here, and now it's time to build our creature. So I'll make a little bit of room, and then we just go. So first, you should make a list of creature types. So as you might already know, like items have some types, like let's say a crate. A crate will be dropped on ground when it's finished. A crate cannot be picked up. It can be loaded, it can be moved, and all of that is item types. And of course, a creature also have types, so we make a new array of types, so a collection basically, call it types, and make some room, and of course forgot the equal sign, and now it's just complaining that there's nothing in here basically, and that we are missing a semicolon. Okay, so let's see. It's a cow, right? So how would we go about this? We could put creature types dot, and then there you have all the creature types, like non-newbie, monster, milk, probably. And to see what we have to use, we will have to look at the base game code. So what we are using is a program called jd-gui, but you could use any other decompiler whatsoever. But I like to have multiple screens open, so I can just flick. And then we just check at the server jar, go to com, Wurm Online, server, creatures, creature template creator, and then let's see, I'm just searching for cow, There we go. Create creature template 3, so probably the ID brown cow. And as we just want the creature types, we can just go there, right? And now we know it wasn't, ID was number 3, so thank God we found the ID3. But you can also search, right? ID3 create brown cow template. Okay, so we are in here. Aha, and there we go. Here we have the creature types with numbers, though, right? And if you go back to Intelli-J, you can also see, if we go to milk, it says here, right, that's number 15. So how are we going to decode the numbers back to whatever? Well, we pull our little window aside here. Let's see how we're going to do this. I'll put this here. And in Intelli-J, you can hold Control and then click on creature types, and it will open the creature types class for you. And then it has the list of creature types in here, right? And there's creature mods. So that's the color giving mods that you know, like champion is red and beak, right? And you have to see types, and that's where you have to be a little bit careful. You should do C types and not C mob. Okay, so then let's go hunt, right? I'll open this window and I'll maybe overlay it in the video or whatever, but I'll put it to the side for me now, and I'll just work through the types, right? All right, so again, worm types are not really structured, so I'll just go in there from least to lowest number, right? I don't know if that it even makes sense structuring stuff, but I'll try. Okay, so first we have the number 3, which is a creature type animal. So I'll just put animal, let that autocomplete. I'll hit tab to do that. So again, animal, you see, I would have to type C underscore type underscore animal, but I can just hit tab and then that will be completed for me. And then we'll put a comma and go to the next line. So the next number in the cow would be number 7, which is move local. So I'll just put local. And then we have the next one, which is number 9, which is grazer. Makes sense so far, right? And then we have the next one, that is the number 14. And 14 is leadable. Also makes sense to me. And next we have creature type 15, which is milk. So far so good. We also have 28. And 28 is herbivore, which makes sense as a grazer, right? You can also feed your cow other things. Next up is 32, which is dominatable. And then next up is 35, which is fleeing. And then we will have 41, which is vehicle. Okay, makes sense. And then we will have 43, which is domestic. And then last but not least, we have 49, which is prey. So this creature will be getting hunted on by hunting creatures. Womp womp. Okay, so in here we have, we just can count the lines here. We will have 10 types. '11 types. And if I come back to that window here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is not the cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, makes sense. All right, so we have the creature types here. And this is just a collection. I know in the Wurm vanilla template, you will see they put skills first, but in modded creatures, we'll do that afterwards. Because here, for the types, we just create that container, and we will use that in the creature template builder afterwards. Because that is what we are going to do right now. Okay, so now we will do a creature template builder, not a creature template, a template builder, like a stamp or something. I'll just call it builder equals new creature template builder. And now we are bombarded with a lot of options. But again, we will make this nice and tidy. No problems. All right, so I'll just make myself a little bit of room. And now I go here. And first we need an identifier. So that's unique to your mod. So I'll just call that, well, mod dot tutorial dot my cow, right? That's the identifier. And this needs to be unique. So if you have overlap there with the base game or other mods, it can come to conflicts. But as long as you keep your own structure, like you could do mod Arathok alchemy or Arathok mod alchemy potion, whatever, then it's unique, I guess. Okay, that is the identifier, right? So next up, we will need a name for the creature. And we call that my cow, because why not, right? Again, it wanted to complain here a little bit. That is because if you do it on not on one line, here now it shows now we need a name, right? And if I put new line here, you can see. So you can have Intelli-J guide you through, but you know. Okay, so we need a name, and it cannot be empty. So we again call it my cow, because that's a trademark at that point, right? And then you see string description. So what I always tend to do when I do it like a new thing, I'll just comment that out, and then I have my stamp down, whatever, right? So next up is the description when you examine it. So far makes sense, right? A new type of cow that came into existence a short while ago, right? Funny description here. Okay, so next up is the model name, and again, this should be unique. So in this case, we'll model creature, please. English creature. What was our identifier? Okay, so tutorial and my cow, right? So that is our creature model. Okay, coming up are the types. So in here now you can just put types, boop, and you're done, right? And there we have our helper. is there again. And now we need the body template. So that's something where I cannot really tell you how it's done for really, really custom creatures. But basically, the body template decides the mesh of the creature, right? So we don't need to model a new creature as long as it's a existing vanilla creature. And that also comes with all the animations already in there. So that's that. Because as far as I know, so far nobody who made custom animations work. Please correct me if that's wrong, but it probably is ultra hard. So body template, and then you put dot, and then you have your body templates here. And let's see if we have we don't have a cow body template. That's weird, but okay. Let's check. So body template 1, is there type 1? So first we need to import that class from Wurm Online Bodies. Okay. Okay. Well, right. So that's a little bit of detective word, but okay. So we have a creature template factory. So this is the vanilla brown cow, right? Creature template factory, ID, name, plural, description, model, types, and then byte 1. And if I go back to body template class, I'll find that a cow is apparently a horse, but I mean, it kinda makes sense. It even has hooves. So this is now a horse. And we are moving on. We will have here short 3 and a byte 1. And here, you see here they put the skills, so they also transmit some extra skills and some base skills, and this is why we tidy that up later. But there is another short and another byte before we come to the height, width, and length, right? So this is the vision, basically the acro range. At least that is how I transfer this. So we do short 3, and of course next line, right? So that is the vision, and then we have the sex. Technically, that shouldn't matter too much. So the brown cow had the sex of 1. I wonder, maybe yeah, because a bull is its own creature. So if you want to make your new cow breedable, I guess you also have to make a bull for it. Okay. Okay, so that's byte 1. So 1. It's a little bit hard to keep it tidy if you don't put it all in one line, but yeah. So now we get the centimeters high and length and width and so on. So again, Jesus Christ. Mouse sensitivity is a thing here. Snip. All right. Tidy that up a little. I don't know why it wants to do it like this. I mean, I could just keep it here, but if I... Yeah, who knows? Okay, next up is the string def sound male and def sound female, but yeah, that would be something that we don't have, but we don't want to be silent, right? So we just go again with the vanilla cow. And again, a little bit of detective work, but we can make it work. So def sound male, def sound female, hit sound male, hit sound female, natural armor, and so on. Okay, so we go back to our normal cow and scroll a little bit further, and you can see here sound deaf cow brown, sound deaf cow brown, sound combat hit, sound combat hit. And I'll just like to copy those. I'll do it like that. Okay. So again, make a little comment, deaf sounds. And that one is male. So first one is male. So male, female. You can do it like that and put it on one line, like so. And that are hit, not hot. Hot sounds. Male, female. Right? So we have that ready, and we need another comma here. Okay, now we have the natural armor of a cow. Do we even have a value for that? Apparently we have. We do have a lot of ones, 111, 02. So I'm just gonna copy that and then we'll go about it. What the numbers were, right? And I should learn to not move around. Damn it! There you go. So, yeah, so natural armor, hand damage, kick damage, bite damage, head damage, breath damage. So that's all the damage values, right? So, and of course, I'll new line these. And then we go through. So what value is this one? Okay, the 100 is the move rate, so basically how often it moves around. So I don't know what 100 means, but I guess other creatures have a lower move rate. Who knows? All right, and the other, that was the speed. So the cow has a slow speed, which makes sense. And it has 0 breath damage. That is relieving, not having dragon cows. All right, so the next thing up would be the items butchered. So again, you could just look it up. I would say we make a new container for this. I never had this as a container, and vanilla also, just as you can see, shows the item numbers. But again, you could make it similar to these types. So let's just do it like that. So int, and then we call that items butchered. To be honest, I wasn't prepared for that, but not a problem. Sorry that we lose some structure and order here, but better tidy things up, right? Okay, so this is going the items that you can butcher from the cow, and what you basically do. Maybe we can do it like this. No, I don't think so. Can we? Oh. Oh. Huh. Item list has not an interface. Makes sense. So let me show you. Item list dot hard, right? So you can butcher hard from it, and you can do it like that. But you can also up here say import Wurm Online server items item list dot star, and then it will implement the entire item list. And then you can just put a tooth, and then you can see, okay, it's marked off here for some. And then you can say import static constant item list tooth, right? And then we can put hoof. And then it will add those, and eventually if you add enough, it will import static, probably with a star. Maybe that's what I forgot. Yep. So if you import the stat, because the item list is static, it's not changeable, right? So import static Wurm Online server items item list star, and then you can just forego the word item list and just have hard hoof whatsoever. Meat. Oh, there's more meat. Meat, any meat? What's the vanilla cow giving us? 306 and 71. None of those. None of those are in the cow. What's dropping from a cow? Well, I'm gonna go item list. Animal hide. Okay, I can go with that. Animal hide. And what's 308? Is that no? 303 is the two hoof. 140. Tallow. All right. Maybe you'll always get meat. Well, we'll see. I think you'll always get meat from animals that you butcher. Maybe that's baked in, right? A tail, I guess. I 308. 2 eyes. Okay, so if you have to drop 2 eyes, you have to put 2 eyes. So eye and another eye, right? And when you butcher, this list gets basically checked, and then depending on your butchering skill, you'll get one of those or all of those items. So it's a little bit randomized. Okay, this is what our cow is gonna drop. All right, so this is the next up. So those are the items butchered. Ta-da! Okay, now we have a max hunt distance. Max hunt distance in the vanilla cow, it's 5. So I guess I don't think this is the distance for hunter creatures. It's just the distance that is following you, because for these docile animals, if you attack them and run away, they become peaceful again, right? And then you have the bite for the meat material, and that is apparently... Oh, never mind. We also have the aggressiveness, which is 0. Forget that. So basically, I guess it has no aggressiveness towards anything. So play around with these values. I never made an aggressive creature, so I cannot tell it to you. Okay, and then we have the meat type, and that's 73. And technically, you could also just say materials, and then see meat, beef. So you could make meat horse, because our cow apparently is a horse anyway. So you don't have to put numbers here. That's the nice thing, right? So we can hear meat material. Okay, and that also basically seals the question, which is, you apparently get meat from the creature anyway, right? Okay. Well, this is your creature template builder so far. Feel free to add your own comments what these things do, but Intelli-J is pretty good in figuring out, okay, you could have meant this, right? And if I delete that short here, yeah, then it puts vision, but it also makes red squiggly line angry, because it says there is no function with int, you have to cast that to short. but then again, the vision tag gets deleted. I gotta love it sometimes, right? So yeah, just for the sake of tidiness, I'll add some comments what everything is. You can skip ahead. So this is our creature template builder. So this is just part of the creature, but this is basically describing the basics of the creature. But of course, we will need a little bit more. And now we will put the skills, right? Just like in the vanilla template, we had different skills here. These skills come from outside, actually. So creature create brown template. That was here. And the skills. Aha, I see. So this is a base set of skills that they are giving, right? And they just transfer that to the creature creation. So if we go back here, we get skills, and the skills get transported in the template creator, and then, but we also learn here new skills. So what the hell, right? Because as you can see, the skills is not a container in itself, it's a class, and they give some basic skills to every creature, and then they still say, hey, this is your basic skill set, please add to that skill set this skill, right? So it works like a container, but I can see here some duplicates. So 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 3, that was 1, 2, yeah, so from 100 to 106 and 10052. Yep, that's exactly the same skills as the base skill set. So again, if you make modded creatures, you can just give it some skill. And here it also works a little bit different, but I'll show you. So kick that off. Okay, so our creature template builder is called builder. So now we say builder.skill. As you can see, you can also put builder.sex, right? You can put everything in here. You see here death sounds, hand damage string, that will come in handy later, but you can keep it off. That is just normal. So if you don't have legs, you can say kick damage string, it slags you with the tentacles damages again, right? So there is a lot you can try here in the item builder, but for today we just focus on the cow. All right, so skill, and as you can see, it wants a skill number and a start value. You can also say default skills, which is probably what they do to get the vanilla skills that are sent. But again, we'll do it like this, and then we say skill list body strength. But as you can see, first off, we need a value, and the body strength of the cow. So body strength is 102. That's 20. That's 20.0f, because it's a float value, right? And then we can put a semicolon here. Again, we can import the skill list. Import static from Wurm Online server skills skill list star. Okay, and don't forget the semicolon, and then we can omit skill list and still have everything, right? So now we can just copy that over. Next is the stamina. So that's 103. 103 was 30. Cow has high stamina, makes sense. And then we just copy and paste these lines. So 104, again, that should be body control. Again, you can control left click on any of those and go to skill list, and then you can see it. So 104 is body control, which is also 20. Oh. Body control, which is 20. Mind logical, that's 100. So that should be above, right? Mind logical, and the cow has 5 mind logic. Can it even create one item? All right, the next up is 105, which is soul strength. Soul strength and soul depth is 106, right? So, I mean, of course, you could just copy from the template and put 105 in here. That is totally fine, but you see, with the skill list, you will later you can still know what the skill is. So soul strength. So how much soul strength does have the cow? 10. So its soul is stronger than its smart. And soul depth, that was 1. Sad. Okay. And then we have the 1052, which is the fighting group, because the server will error out if a creature have no normal fighting skill. And so here we will add weaponless fighting is the, so that's weaponless fighting, and it has a weaponless fighting value of 8, right? But it still needs some normal fighting skill, or else you have these error messages. It won't crash the server, it will just learn the creature fighting on level 1. So I'll just give it some fighting, I don't know, 5 or so. And that's group fighting, right? So that. Okay, so these are the skills. And next up, let me check here. Yep, we were done with that. So we have keep sex. I don't know. I don't think we don't even have that. Oh, we have that. Okay, so that's true. Oh, we have set. Oh, do we have max age? Yeah, 100. So some options might not be available in the creature builder, but again, we'll just check what works and then see what sticks, basically. So set base combat rating. Okay, so that is that, right? So builder set. Do we have base combat rating? Yep. Okay, so if you add that, you can probably omit this line here, right? and I set it to 5, so we can. Although, wait. Combat rating CR is something else than fighting, right? So I'll keep that and that. Sorry, little confusion there. Set child template ID and mate template ID. So if you want to breed your creatures, you have to probably add those, but that's nice. So we can just copy that, I guess. And of course, builder child template and whoa, in their number. And you could also do creature. Damn it. Oh, we don't have a creature list. Aha, but you can go creatures and then calf, and you see it's the 50, right? So it's child and builder mate meat. Okay, that's odd. So apparently the creature template builder has no functionality for mating. You probably have to poke around in code a little bit. But if I find a solution that can be put here in the creature builder, I'll put something in description. So check out description. All right, moving on so far. We will have here max group attack size. So do we have that? Yes, we do have that, and that's 2. Easy. And then we have the combat damage type. Yep, and that was a 0. But as a byte. Okay, and last but not least, we have set max percent of creatures. Aha, so how many creatures should your cow be? So set max percent of creatures, and we just what do they say? 0.02 F for normal cow, right? So there was also max population of creatures, so you could also just tell the game, well, I want 100 of these and that's it, at the max, right? So it doesn't spawn any more. I'll just put in here 10,000. Is that too high? I'll put 1,000. Okay, and then this is just setting vision to number 4. It had a vision of 3, and if movement changes enabled, has a vision of 4. So I think that doesn't matter. So yeah, that is our creature template builder done for now. And I'll take a short break, and then we'll talk about adding the encounters, basically make the creature spawn. So be right back. All right, so to really get our creature going here, we just need to do 3 more important things. The first thing is that our creature, of course, needs a template ID, right? So just like we said, the baby ID should be calf or 50, our creature needs to get its own ID, and this needs to go up here in the class, right? Just integer and call it template ID. Oh, sorry, int template ID. And at the end of our creature, of all the things that we did, we put template ID equals builder get template ID. So this will pull out a new creature ID out of the pool. So basically all the Wurm creatures are getting done, and now this is going to make a new creature ID, which is then random and probably very high, but it is unique and that is good for the game. And of course we cannot return nothing. Return null means return nothing. We are going to return builder to the calling function, right? Okay, then we are going to make an encounter. An encounter is basically what makes your creature spawn. So in that case, we are going to delete this and then put if template ID equals nothing, then we don't add an encounter, just so that if our creature is not properly initialized, that it also wouldn't spawn, right? And if not, then we say new encounter builder. And basically in here, let's see if there are suggestions. Yep, there is a tile type. So you could do tiles.tile grass. Oop, no, that is not correct. Tiles tile tile grass dot id. So basically this is the byte of the grass tile, and then we say add creature, right? And how many? So template ID, which creature? Our creature. And how many? 1. And then we say build with a chance. So what is the spawn chance percent on that tile? So like the creature polar goes over the tiles, is working on the grass tiles, and now tries to spawn a new creature on the grass tile. So how high should the chance be to spawn a cow? So if you put it to 50% in 1 or 2 cases of creatures, it's gonna be your cow. So you basically have to play with it. I'm just gonna put 10 for 10% in here. So this will make a encounter for grass. I think we cannot add more. No, we can only one encounter builder per tile, but anyway, doesn't matter. You can copy paste it, and then you can say, okay, a cow might also spawn on steppe, right? With the same chances. So that's that. Also, I think there is no tile for flower, but let me check. No, because flowers are basically a special grass tile. There's also moss and marsh. Yeah, I think I'll keep it at steppe and grass. Okay. So that is our creature. We have an encounter builder, basically creating spawn possibilities for the creature. We have the creature builder that describes our creature. And then we have one related problem. So I see, yeah. So here is a little fix I have found. I've talked to the guys on the modding Discord, and basically this is what we came up with. Basically the problem was that we were able in the creature builder to say, hey, if you ever have a child, this is your child that you will be spawning after your pregnancy. And but we weren't able to set the mate, right? So like here, this is the ID for bool. I talked to Ago and he's looking into it, but for the time being, I found the following workaround. After the server has started and all creatures are initialized and whatnot, we are go and get the creature template, which the server just made after starting, or before starting rather. And as you can see here, creature template factory, get instance, get template, and my cow, that's the name of the class, template ID. And here it's complaining because it wasn't static. So I set that up. So now there is not that problem anymore, but there is the get template problem, which could catch such a no such creature template exception. Basically, it's trying to look for that ID, but this is not linked to our cow or whatever, and it will call an exception. So we're going to surround this whole thing with try and catch. And of course, here, so surround that with. And in here, we are not going to throw a new runtime exception, but rather we will make a log message. For that, we will need a logger. So yeah, for util logging. Let's call it cow logger equals new logger, and cow logger is the name, right? Did I forget something? It's not a new logger, it's a get logger, and then that's the name. Okay, and now we can say, hey, before you throw that exception, might log that thing so we know what's up. So we now say cow logger dot log level warning, all big, and then the message, and then we can say new cow was not linked to a correct template ID, right? So just that we have some kind of information, and then we can also add the exception at the end and maybe plus e.get message. So then you get the exception message as well, and also the exception, right? So in case anything, not everything, but if anything goes wrong, we will have a logging message here. So anyway, again, starting from the beginning, we get a creature template, a new one called cow. We just fill it with nothing, and then we say cow is a creature template factory, get the instance, get the template with this number from our cow, and then set mate template ID to bool. So we do it like this. Get our new cow template, right? Not a creature, it's basically the stamp for the creature that we are getting here. And then for the stamp for that creature, we are setting the mate template ID to bool at this point. Set possible mate to bool. Okay, that's that. And now we just need to add our creature. After the creatures have been initialized, we are adding a new creature, and this is gonna be our new my cow. There you go. So when you're making a mod, please watch out that you don't forget a package. So org.arthur.wurm unlimited.mods.tutorial adding new creatures. All right, that is the package. We put everything in the package, click refactor, Intelli-J does the rest. Okay, and then of course we have to build again, so that the package name is in there. All right, so I went ahead and added a folder called tutorial adding new creatures to my Wurm Unlimited server mods directory. And inside I just placed our latest jar that we have built. So because our build output was set as downloads folder, I've copied it from downloads in here. But now you could directly set your Intelli-J up to output your mod already in a folder that has the same name of the mod. So that is important for Wurm mods. This folder needs to be the same name as the jar that's inside the folder, needs also be the same capitalization, and you need a properties file, which I also already went ahead and made an empty file, which I'm now opening in Notepad++. All right, so the final thing you have to do before you can take your mod for a test drive is to make the .properties file. Basically, you can just copy from any other properties file, so even does combat, whatever. What we are needing is the first 4 lines, or even the 3 of the first 4 lines. So the depend import is basically if your mod pack has dependencies. We are not doing that. So we can just copy from feeding trough. And then just go over here. And then class name is basically needs to point to your main class. So if we go back to Intelli-J, which I closed down. We need this package, the package name, copy that. Right, and then add a dot, and our class has the same name, just with a capital T, so we can just double that and put that here. So this is the main class of the mod. So basically the one that has the Wurm server mod in its implements, right? Okay. Then in which jar file are we going to find our mod? This is tutorial adding new creatures.jar. And yeah, that's it basically. And that is your properties file. So I close that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete all creatures. So I'm gonna go in my database, go into the creatures table, delete all the lines, and basically save that and close that down. That way we can easily check if our creature is even spawning. So I'm gonna start my server here. Yep, I'm gonna start server. And technically I don't even have to log in to check out if our creature is going to spawn or not. I can go back to the database browser. So let me open the creature database again. Creatures. And we have a lot of my cows already appearing. So that's good. That's nice. Okay, so let's check if they are even there. So I'm gonna launch a client and just see. Okay. I mean, I can just summon one as a GM, I guess. All right. Unfortunately, it's nighttime, but GM light should come up pretty soon. So summon, and there's my cow. well, that doesn't look like a cow, but that's because it doesn't have a model yet. But we will talk about that in the second part of that video. Okay, we have an old my cow, and model is model creature tutorial my cow female. So that works. It has it identifier, all good. So that's there. And now what happens if we do whiskill? All right. And so that was the deaf sound. I have no headset on, so I'm gonna check later in the cutting software. But if it was a cow sound, hey, success. If it was a human sound, it might be because of the model. But we'll check that out. So, but yeah, it works. And technically, if I have a butchering knife, we can also see. Oh, caps lock. We can also see if we get the butchering products from it. So let's see, let me butcher that. Ah, okay. You produce a meat, you fail to produce a heart, a tooth, a hoof, hide, fat, tail, eye. And I made an eye. Wow. Yeah, well. Oh, and the tooth and a fat, apparently. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So butchering works as well. So that is our cow. Oh, and we probably should also test if we can breed it with a don't mind the other corpse, breed it with a bull or something like that. So let me summon a rope. So I'm not sure if our workaround works. That's why we can try it out here. So I'm gonna summon a bull, and he's young. I don't know if, well, we'll see. Summon my cow. All right. And now we make them breed. Greek mythology. Let's see here. Okay, breed. The adolescent buff shies away and interrupts the action. Okay. But it works, I guess. Oh yeah. The venerable my cow probably give birth in a while. Okay, we just had the bull impregnate my cow. Okay, but so our breeding workaround seems to be working out. I don't know what the 0.0 is, but that might be because I'm a GM. So I don't know. Can you see if? Oh yeah, she will deliver in 5 days. Okay. And then a calf should come out technically, but I can't test that right now. Maybe if you set the pregnancy to 0 days or something like that, it will immediately spawn. But for all things considered, I think our cow is working. We just need to make a model. And this is gonna be in the second part of this video because we are already at 1 hour. So yeah. I hope this was interesting or fun to you. If you have any questions or any feedback, feel free to post in the comments in YouTube or hit me up on Discord if you have any questions so far. But generally, this is how you make a creature template. All right. Have a nice day, and I see you soon. Bye bye.